Islands are cute little havens, surrounded by water with picturesque landscapes and greenery, sometimes flaunting kaleidoscopic fauna, mesmerizing with their quiet. Wondering what can be strange about them? Well, you can't be more wrong. Many strange islands of the world will make you question your idea of the picture-perfect islands. The following islands are simply strange. They offer desolation and goosebumps. Number 1. Runnet Island. In the far-flung reaches of the North Pacific Ocean lies an island with a half-buried secret. The Runnet Dome in the Marshall Islands is a hulking legacy of years of U.S. nuclear testing. From a distance, Runnet Island looks like an untouched paradise. White caps stirred by an easterly trade wind break onto the outer coral reef. But this particular piece of paradise became a hell on Earth after the United States conducted 43 nuclear tests here after the Second World War. All of the island's vegetation near ground zero sites was destroyed. Only a few rats managed to survive. Number 2. The Hidden Rainbow. Like a natural pearl resting on a teal velvet bed, Hormuz Island lies a few miles off the coast of Iran, at the mouth of the strait of the same name. From its strategic perch where the Persian Gulf and the Gulf of Oman meet, this 16-square-mile island was once a splendid historic trading port. In these quieter days, most of the island's residents are fishermen, and visitors are drawn by the shiploads for its wealth of natural wonders. The amazing settings include coral reefs and a mangrove forest, but the real draw is the land itself. Hormuz Island is one of the biggest salt domes. It's most famous for its eye-catching red ochre soil and beaches, and its stunningly variegated geological formations. The colorful elements of the island attract artists and cooks, in addition to geology lovers. The red soil, once extracted commercially and exported for industrial and cosmetic uses, contains a high percentage of iron oxide minerals that give it an intensely bloody shade, and mineralization and weathering create and reveal more beautiful minerals such as obligate, gypsum, apatite, and quartz, which help give the mountains and valleys their eerie tints of red, yellow, purple, and green. Natural salt cave walls show some of these components side by side and can resemble works of modern art. Up close and at a distance, Rainbow Island is as striking a setting as they come. Number 3. The World Islands. Sitting around 2.5 miles off the coast of Dubai in the Persian Gulf, the World Islands are a collection of smaller islands designed to replicate the world in miniature, with each island named after its corresponding country. First announced in 2003, the World Islands promise to be the next big thing in the luxury travel realm, with members of the global elite, including Richard Branson and the late Karl Lagerfeld, clamoring to have a piece of the action. As is standard in the glittering city of Dubai, the World Islands are, of course, not a naturally occurring phenomenon. The artificial islands were created by dredging sand from the Gulf and transporting it to the designated spot, with several million tons of rocks used to keep it in place. In total, there are 300 islands in the World Islands, with each ranging from 250,000 to 900,000 square feet. The entire collection covers some 5.4 miles across. You would need million-dollar coffers to consider buying one of these islands. The cheapest starts at a cool $7 million going up to an eye-watering $1.8 billion. However, despite the buzz caused when the World Islands were first announced and the numerous individual island sales, the 2008 financial crash saw work on the ambitious development grind to a halt. At this point, it was estimated that almost $15 billion had already been spent, but just one island development was finished with the rest at varying stages of completion. Amongst the chaos of works halting, developers were also forced to deny rumors that the World Islands were sinking back into the ocean. Number 4. Vulcan Point. The Philippines is a southeastern Asian country known for its white and pristine beaches like the Maldives, picture-perfect sceneries like Greece, and various festivals like in Japan. This country is also home to strange yet very interesting places to discover. Just like the Vulcan Point, a complex planetary mass object located on the island of Luzon is considered one of the smallest and most active volcanoes with 33 historical eruptions. Vulcan Point is an island inside a lake, inside a volcano, inside a bigger island, inside an archipelago, inside the Pacific Ocean. Doesn't that boggle your mind? Well, as you may have seen recently on the news, the Taal volcano erupted in January 2020. The eruption buried the surrounding landscape under several feet of volcanic ash, and the sheer heat of the eruption dried up every drop of the crater lake. But despite the devastation, Vulcan Point appears to have miraculously survived. Experts believe that the lake will be refilled by rainfall in a few years. But sadly, for now, this former dream within a dream is more like a waking nightmare. Number 5. Sable Island. If you're from the Maritimes, you've probably grown up hearing stories about the mysterious, isolated, and wild windswept sandbar known as Sable Island. Often referred to as the graveyard of the Atlantic, Sable Island is a place of wonder with strange origins and untouched beauty. Located 300 kilometers southeast of Halifax, Nova Scotia, for centuries the island has captivated and continues to intrigue explorers, researchers, artists, and travelers from around the world. There's been more than 350 shipwrecks here due to the rough seas, fog and sandbars in the waters around the island. It's no surprise that the island is known as the graveyard of the Atlantic. There's lots of animals on Sable Island. The wild horses are easy to spot, but there are also the gray seals that come to the island to have their pups on the beaches. Other kinds of seals hang out on the island too, and swim in the waters around it. There are lots of birds that visit on their migrations and some that live there year-round. The island is the only known breeding location for the small Ipswich sparrow. The big sand dunes which give the island its name, sable means sand in French, are always on the move, shifting in the winds so that you'll never see the same landscape twice. Number 6. Gaiola Island. Isola della Gaiola is a small but beautifully formed island just off the Gulf of Naples, where the rocky shores are lapped by emerald waters clear enough for glimpses of the submerged ancient ruins below. There's even a private villa from which to enjoy the spectacular panoramic views. Yet the island remains abandoned, and many locals refuse to go near it for fear of becoming the next victim of the island's curse. The island comprises 2 islets connected by a narrow stone bridge just a few meters in length. At one time, it was known as Eupli and was considered the protector of safe navigation. The run of bad luck might have started in the 1800s when a hermit known as Il Mago, or the wizard, lived on the island. Isolated from the community, save for the occasional handout from local fishermen, Il Mago lived a solitary existence, so there was no one to provide an explanation when he simply vanished without a trace, never to be seen again. More misfortune followed in the 1920s when the Swiss owner of the villa, Hans Braun, was murdered, his body found wrapped in a rug in his own home. His widow drowned in the sea shortly after. The next owner had a heart attack, and another committed suicide in a mental hospital. The island once belonged to Gianni Agnelli, the head of Fiat, who transformed the Italian company into a global brand and became Italy's richest man in the process. Despite his success, Agnelli experienced many personal hardships in his life. His son's body was found under a bridge in an apparent suicide, and his nephew died of a rare form of cancer at age 33. Today the island is part of the Gaiola Underwater Park, a protected marine area owned by the region of Campania. Those who are brave enough to ignore the curse can reach Isola della Gaiola with a short swim from the mainland. Number 7. Lillydimon. While some islands are known for their unusual geography or unique history, Lillydimon is notable for its weather. The island, which is the smallest of Denmark's Faroe Islands chain, is often capped by a lens-shaped cloud, a lenticular cloud, making it resemble a scene from a fairy tale. Another factor that makes Lillydimon distinct is that it's the only one of the 18 main Faroe Islands without human inhabitants. Visitors to the mystical location will instead find a thriving population of sheep. Originally, Lillydimon was home to a group of feral sheep likely dating back to the Neolithic era. But they were hunted to extinction in the 19th century. Domesticated sheep were introduced there around the same time, and today, farmers visit the island once a year to round up their flocks. One of the few signs of human life is the ropes farmers use to scale the cliff faces bordering the island. Even if you have rock climbing skills, Lillydimon may be dangerous to visit. A boat ride to the rocky shore is only possible when the surrounding sea is calm. For that death-defying trek, I hope the views are worth it. Number 8. Underground Island. While most islands are situated in lakes and oceans, there's one subterranean exception that undermines them all. Just outside of Cluj-Napoca, Romania's second largest city and Transylvania's unofficial capital, lies one of the oldest salt mines in the world. Dating back around 2,000 years, Salina Turta was a hive of activity for centuries until it finally closed in 1932. Its vast caverns were then used as bomb shelters during World War II, and later for storing cheese. But the enormous mine has now been given a big makeover, transforming into a futuristic theme park more than 100 meters below ground. Your first peek inside Salina Turta will take your breath away. The size of the space is simply unbelievable, as you gaze from the ceiling down through the cascading neon lights to the whizzing amusement park more than 40 meters below. The centerpiece of the mine is its stunning subterranean lake, another elevator ride down to the bottom of a deeper cavern about 120 meters below ground. There you can cross onto a small island where you can hire a paddleboat to explore the furthest reaches of the lagoon yourself, making sure to admire the salt waterfall that blooms above your head. The water is just shin deep in some parts, but it's so still and clear that it appears to stretch down forever. Number 9. Mavava Island. Google Maps helps you discover unexplored places throughout the world. Travel lovers who couldn't travel because of a busy work schedule or money crunch often hop onto Google Maps and visit their dream destination virtually. Most of us often take the advantage of this feature by discovering hidden and unusual destinations too. A 50-year-old Detroit woman, Jolene Voltaggio, was surfing Google Maps when she comes across a phallic-shaped landmass in Trinity Island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. The secluded utopia is only accessible by a short 10-minute boat transfer, as the nearest big airport is on Vanuatu, Fiji's second-largest island. The 42-acre private island lined with coconut palms, white beaches, and tropical flowers is being carved up into 97 lots plus an owner's clubhouse. Located in the crystal-clear waters less than 2 miles off Fiji's second-largest island, Mavava sits within a protected coral reserve. With parts of the unfortunately shaped idol rising more than 110 feet above sea level, all of the plots will enjoy a view of the luminous lagoon. Paradise plots on a penis-shaped island are on sale for less than the average price of a property in the Northeast. For as little as £81,000 you can buy an ocean view on the phallic-like Mavava Island in the South Pacific. That is the end of the series. Which of these mentioned islands you think is the weirdest? Do you wish to visit some of them one day? Let us know in the comments section, and thanks for watching.